911, this is the drill. This is the drill. Motor vehicle accident with entrapment. Riverview, Berwick High School, Berwick Borough, 1402.
Police officers, paramedics, and firefighters took part in a live drill this afternoon at the Berwick Area High School.
Prom night presents a much higher risk than normal of being in a car accident due to teenagers driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol and teenagers who are driving distracted. The bottom line is that prom night accidents could be avoided if teenagers make better choices. Take, for instance, this accident scene. Casey and Todd, who went to the prom and enjoyed a wonderful night. Deja, Kaylee, Erica, and Troy chose to go to a party and drink instead of going to prom. Leaving the prom, Casey and Todd could not stop in time when Troy ran a stop sign in his drunken state. The bystanders who witnessed the accident called 911.
Members of the SAD Club played the parts of the victims and the actors in the crash. Heather Henry is a SAD Club advisor.
I think it's important to have this drill before prom to remind students that prom is not all about the glitz and the glamour and the fun. It's also about remaining safe. And the choices they make determine whether or not they stay safe or not.
The students that were watching the mock drill saw their fellow students being arrested or rushed to the hospital or dead.
It was a little scary being there, being dead, and hearing like everything go on around you. It was interesting.
Troy Stair played a part of a drunk driver that was arrested at the scene of the crash.
It was kind of interesting. I mean, we got out and I had to do a breathalyzer test. He didn't give me a field sobriety test or anything like that. And then he put me in handcuffs, and I learned that handcuffs are actually really tight and they actually do hurt, not like fake handcuffs, so that was interesting.
You were arrested as well.
I was. Not an experience I'd like to ever relive, that's for sure. I mean, it's a scary thought that that actually does happen. Like, it was always some kind of thing that we all knew could happen, but seeing it like this, even though it's fake, I still feel bad. Like, those were my friends and stuff.
Dave Dietrich is the rescue chief of the Berwick Fire Department. He told us what the firefighters' main purpose was at today's drill.
Today our role was basically what we do on an everyday basis. We protect the patient from any further injury and remove the metal from around the car so we can get the patient out safely with less spinal injury. And
thousands of people came out to the Tricky Triangle for today's Party in the Poconos 400. But this triangle proved to be anything but tricky for five-time champion Jimmy Johnson.
You voted, we listened, this is your race, you own it. Fans, help me get this party started. Drivers, start your engine!
And with that, the Party in the Poconos 400 presented by Walmart was underway. This year's race saw only 14 lead changes among 4 different drivers throughout the 400 miles. But after lap 10, it was Johnson who went on to dominate the field, leading 128 of the 160 laps.
But I'd say second or third pit stop, we really nailed the setup. And it's not like we're very far off to start with because we're up front leading, but we dialed her in and got it right for the conditions at hand and made it happen.
The Tricky Triangle brought out 6 cautions on the day, making restarts for Johnson somewhat of a challenge.
And restarts are so tough. And around here, if you can get the clean air on a short run, especially with the series of cautions we had, it'd be tough to pass him. But even with having a dominant car, you know, I didn't want to be in that position and run in second and have to worry about getting by somebody. And I learned a lot on the 2 restarts where I was on the outside of the 39, and that helped me a lot going into those final 3 with Junior on the inside of me.
And after last week's dispute on the restart, Johnson was all but willing to try to jump on somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little lingering for me. I wanted to prove a point and show everybody really what could happen in that restart zone. If you know, what happened to me last week, but I couldn't do it to a teammate. I just couldn't. So I guess if things stay the way they do, I'll save that for another day and prove my point even more.
Pocono is known for its 3 turns, and for Johnson, turn 3 was in his favor all day.
I knew I was fast through there. I'm not sure what or why, but I could yard guys real good through turn 3. You know, in years past, I've learned a line and a rhythm to that corner that's been useful. a lot of available grip with the fresh repave, and I think it's kind of coming my way, coming back to the old way of the way Turn 3 used to work for me, and that's how I drove it today, and it worked really good.
This is Johnson's third win of the season and his third win at the 2.5-mile triangle. And with every win comes the burnout.
I wasn't sure my burnout was that good. I'm glad to hear it still was good. And I went to a donut at the end because in the mirror it didn't look very smoky to me, and I thought, man, I don't want to give a lame burnout. So I went to some donuts, and that was pretty fun.
Johnson now has a 51-point lead over Carl Edwards in the chase and looks to keep this momentum going into next weekend's race in Michigan. At Pocono Raceway for WYLN Sports, I'm Nathan Yerges.
Third year, Berwick hosted the Run for the Diamonds. It's a 9-mile run down Market Street, and runners with the top times from 1st to 7th place in both the male and female categories get to take a diamond home. We spoke to Derek McCluskey from Ontario, Canada, who finished first in the men's division with a time of 45 minutes and 51 seconds.
I like the course. I like the hills. I wasn't crazy about all the downhills, but I think it was altogether it's a very challenging and interesting course. Yeah.
The female winner was Kara Millhouse of State College. She heard about the century-long event a few years ago because she actually has family in the Berwick area. It was the first time that Millhouse ran in the race, and she said the fan support helped motivate her to get the win in 52 minutes and 58 seconds.
There were people on every different part of the course. That was amazing. There were fans everywhere. I have run 5Ks that you only see, somebody at the start of the race and the finish of the race, in the middle of the race, you're gone. You're nowhere. There's no one out there. So this is really exciting. Just the fans and the event is amazing. Everyone in Berwick was out here, and it's incredible.
Over 1,700 people participated in this year's Run for the Diamond. At the end of the day in the girls' team meet, Abington Heights came in first with 102 points, Hazelton area right on their tails with 92, and North Pocono third with 67. Leading the Hazelton area charge, sprinter Emily Malone, who took home the silver in the 100-meter dash. Our videographer Nate Yerges pulled the sophomore aside after the race.
I had a bad start, but I finished really strong, and I just wanted to stay on the top seed. I didn't want to stay on her heels, so it worked out.
Going to States now in a few weeks. What are your expectations down to States?
To hopefully get out of prelims. That's my goal. So I'm going to work really, really hard the next few weeks, practice all my starts.
Malone would also come in second in the pole vault, losing to Crestwood's Ellie Bennett, who came in with a height of 10 feet.
I'm so happy that I got first. I've been working really hard for this, so I finally got it. I'm so excited about that. I'm just a sophomore, so I'm not hoping for anything big, but it's just a great experience to be going down there.
Lady Cougar Alyssa Sitch also medaled in the 100-meter dash and took home the gold in the long jump at 17.6½. Hazelton's Selena Garzio was #1 in the girls' high jump at 5 feet 3 inches. And distance runner Nicole Burley for the Lady Cougars also on her way to States, running the 1600. Tunkhannock area took home the boys' championship with 78.5 points. Pittston area's Donnie D'Alicio had a banner day. He won 4 gold medals on the night, including the 1600 and the 300 hurdles. But it was Berwick's Gavin Harder who shone for the Bulldogs. He won the gold in the shot put, breaking his own previous record of 52.4 with a toss of 52 feet, 7 inches.
My goal coming in was to beat my previous score, and I did it. I was just overwhelmed when I threw that. And I was excited. I had to get one out there because I knew people behind me had the ability to beat me, so I felt I had to get one out there, and the first one happened to be it.
Most people run out of burning buildings, but some ship students run into them. Jay Shovaker and Andrew Hahn are 2 of 10 active college firefighters who work and live at the Vigilant Hose Company.
You become part of a family. All the live-ins, we just love to be together, we like to hang out.
But it's also a serious commitment.
You've got to be disciplined enough to juggle your school and your firehouse work. You've got to be mature enough to realize you're living with a bunch of other people that, you know, one day it's great and one day you guys get in each other's hair.
Since the late 1970s, Vigilant has had their live-in program, and they are only one of over 200 departments in the United States to do so.
Justin Eberly, a business major, is also an EMT. He says going to his 8 a.m. after a 12-hour shift can be tough, but it's a great experience for all.
It takes some dedication, but if you're willing to do it, the rewards are something that you'll live with for the rest of your life.
Student firefighters trade their work for a place to live, helping defray college costs. It's a good deal for everyone.
But the benefits that we get from them is that we have manpower here at the fire station, especially overnight. One of the live-ins, actually 2 of the live-ins are drivers of all of our apparatus, so when we have a call, they're responding within a minute or 2 of dispatch.
Vigilant is always looking for more volunteers. If you feel led, feel free to stop by their station. For SUTV News, I'm Nathan Yerges.